as you can tell, that's me, that's my name. And you guys have probably heard a billion presentations like this before, like be nice to people, treat people how you want to be treated. And trust me, I was your guys' age, not for a long time. I think I was in 5th grade, like 5 years ago now, 6th grade, 4 years ago. So that means, yeah, I'm a 10th grader. I go to Blaine High School, and I probably, like many of you, did not like presentations like this, because why would older people tell me about my life, you know? They didn't know me, and it was different time periods and all that. So I just want to tell you all, what I say may not resonate with you, and that's fine, but it might resonate with some of you, and that's good too. So that's me. I'm Chloe McCarty. That's me in about 4th grade or so. I would still wear that outfit today probably if I had the choice, but I don't think it would fit me anymore. So I was about your guys' age in this picture here, a little bit younger. And then about 5th grade or so, I developed a condition called Trichotillomania, which basically is just like compulsive hair pulling. So like, do any of you guys just like shake your leg or tap your fingers or crack your knuckles without really thinking about it sometimes, or like tap your pencil on your desk? Yeah? You know what I'm talking about? Yep. That's basically what it is, except I pull my hair. And I can't really help it, and I don't really think about it, and it's not really something I can control. So I started developing this in about 5th grade. And the way it works in my school is after 5th grade you go to middle school, which is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So I went to middle school and it was drastically different because I started 5th grade, all my hair, my eyelashes, my eyebrows, everything. Then I went to 6th grade, different school, new people, and I was the bald girl, essentially. And a lot of people didn't take very kindly to that because I was different, you know, like I didn't, even though I was the same person, they thought of me as different because I didn't look the same, or I didn't look like someone that they were used to seeing. And some people were actually pretty mean to me because of it. And I never understood that because it was something that I can't control, and I was just being the best me I could be. And, you know, I always just kind of thought, well, all I can be is me, so if people don't like that, then that's fine. And I never really let that get to me, even though it was hard sometimes. So I decided that I wanted to spread, I guess, my disposition to life. And so I posted on the internet. I was like, hey, this is what's up with me. If you don't like it, that's fine. And I eventually just decided, hey, I'm gonna make a video about this. So that's this.
Come on. Okay.
What?
It's probably an advertisement. It's an advertisement.
Oh, that looks yummy. Where's the volume?
Where's the volume? Oh.
You messed up. Go back more. Back. There. Like,
We're getting there.
where's the volume?
They don't even know you. start to judge you, show them your true colors, and do unto others as you have done to you. Just rise above this, kill them with your kindness. Ignorance is blindness. They're the ones that stand to lose. 'Cause they don't even know you. All they see is scars. They don't see the angel living in your heart. Let them find the real you buried deep within. And let them know with all you've got that you are not your skin. Well, they don't even know you. All they see is scars, and they don't see the angels living in your heart. So let them find the real you buried deep within. Let them know with all you've got that you are not your sin.
So that was me in about 7th grade. I was 12 there, like I said, so a little bit older than you guys, but very close in age. Some of you 6th graders might actually be 12. I'm young for my grade. Fitness. So the song that I used in that video, it's a song called Skin by one of my favorite bands called 6 a.m. And I actually got to meet all of the guys in the band, and the guy, the bassist, his other band, Motley Crue. And so it's hard to see, but that's him in the middle there, and the drummer from his other band on the right, and one of his radio co-hosts on the left. And that was a really cool experience, and we're kind of like friends now, which makes me feel really cool. And that's just a picture I made. I think I was in like 8th grade then. And yeah, so I got to meet 2 of the guys in Motley Crue, all of the guys in 6 a.m., which was really, really neat. And they're like 2 of my 4 favorite bands, so obviously that meant a lot to me. And that's just me now. I don't know why that picture's in here, but I look cool, so why not? And another thing that came of me, just putting my story out there was I got involved in a campaign to actually make bald Barbie dolls. But the company that discovered the campaign first and acted on it was the people that make Bratz dolls. And so in turn, they actually made 3 bald Bratz dolls and 3 bald Moxie dolls and Moxie Rose dolls, and donated some of the proceeds of the dolls to help cancer patients. But it was also to raise awareness for people like me that have trichotillomania, people that have hair loss because of chemotherapy, and people that have hair loss because of a disorder called alopecia, which just makes you lose your hair. And they actually sent me one that was custom made to look like me with like my makeup and my outfit and everything, after they'd seen the photo I recreated on the right that someone photoshopped. And I was like, hey, I have clothes like that, I could just recreate that photo. So I did, and then the company's like, oh hey, we can make a doll that looks like that photo. So they did, and it was kind of a chain reaction, but that's how I got to have a Bratz doll that's one of a kind and looks just like me.
Back
There. And that's actually me the Bratz doll named Chloe, spelled differently, but which I thought was really neat that was one of the dolls that they chose to be bald because, you know, that was obviously my favorite one as a kid because we had the same name. And then eventually, the people that make Barbies made a bald Barbie. She's not actually Barbie, she's Ella, because you know Barbie can be a bit set in her ways. But she was donated to cancer patients around the country. I actually have one in my possession. I'm not a cancer patient, but it was given to me. And yeah, that one's pretty neat. It's not available for everyone though, so it's not as big of a deal in my opinion. But and then there was a news presentation about me and, you know, the things I've done and all that. And it was a news presentation by some of my friends down in Texas. And it actually won an Emmy Award, which is like the biggest award you can win for TV, kind of like the Grammys or the Golden Globes or, you know, all of that stuff. Except it was for news, so obviously people don't care about it as much as if like a favorite TV show won something. But it was still really cool. And it was very neat that I was able to help people achieve something so neat. This thing sucks.
That's the last one, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's the last one. All right. So that's my story, I guess. I guess the moral of it is do no harm, but also don't let people do harm unto you because you're the best you can be, and unless you're hurting people, there's no problem in being you. So, now questions, I guess. You right there? That's actually a very interesting question. He said, does it hurt when I pull my hair? And not that I encourage any of you to start this because I don't, but the thing is, after time, your hair just starts becoming like, I guess you could say weaker, and comes out easier. Kind of like, you know how if you like poke a hole in like a piece of paper with a pencil and then you just keep putting the pencil through it over and over, it just gets like easier to slide through over time? That's essentially what it's like. So no, it doesn't hurt me anymore, but at first, yeah. And sometimes it does because, I mean, you're pulling your hair out, but yeah. You? No, but it is kind of looking like that right now, isn't it? I've been able to I guess curb my behavior lately because I was like, hey, I want a mohawk, so I'm only gonna pull from the sides. So now it's kind of more like a mohawk, but it's still got some patches and whatnot. But it's nice to notice that. Anyone? You can ask me anything. You over there? I don't think that's weird. I think it's a nice thing because it's like you're surrounded in a world of people that all have hair, and you feel like nothing represents you, and you feel like you have nothing to hold on to. But like for the little kids, you know, like little 4-year-olds, it's nice because they can see something and play with something that reminds them of themselves. Like, for example, as you saw, I was blonde as a kid, and if I had the choice, I would always get a blonde doll because I could, like, put myself onto that. And I think that it's nice for the little kids that don't have hair because they can be like, oh, this one looks like me, I'm gonna make it like me. I don't know if any of you guys ever did that with your toys, but it's obviously nice to have something to relate to or to look at and, you know, see yourself in. You at the hood? No, I still do it, but I'm getting a lot better at not doing it due to both, you know, just like myself saying I don't want to do it, or myself saying, you know, just like this isn't my thing now. But ultimately, it's like a mental behavior I have. It's not like I'm choosing to do it, and I don't see much of a problem with it. The only reason I'd stop is because, you know, I want to. It doesn't cause me health problems or anything like that. So I never saw it as a problem. It's just kind of part of who I am. But if I stop, it's just because I want hair, you know. So yeah. You? My future? Hopefully, well, There's two things I want to do. I either want to be a stylist or a fashion designer. I sew a lot of things. I like to make costumes and all that kind of stuff. And as you can tell, I kind of like to coordinate outfits too. Or I want to be a musician. I play bass guitar, cello, I'm a singer, and I'm learning keyboard. So, I mean, that's a bit of the pipe dream, is to be, you know, like a famous rock star, but I think I'll probably end up falling back on owning some sort of a clothing store or something someday. You? Huh? Yeah. I have been in that school district my whole life. I went to Johnsville Elementary School, then down the street from that is Roosevelt Middle School, and down the street from that is Blaine High School. And I've gone to all three of those schools, and I've never moved, so. You? Not all the time. I mean, I'm not doing it right now. But, you know, it depends on what I'm doing. I've tended to notice that it happens more when my brain isn't occupied doing something I like. So, like, if I'm, you know, like playing a video game and I'm really into it, I won't be doing it. Or if I'm, like, doing a drawing I'm really liking, I won't. Or if I'm, like, hanging out with my friends and I'm really, like, involved in conversation and all that, I won't be. But if I'm just sitting there, like, working on schoolwork or something and I'm bored, then it's like, yeah, I'll probably start doing it. You right there? You? You know, if I do, I tend not to notice it anymore. I mean, I do dress kind of out there. When I go out in public, people do stare at me. Sometimes people laugh at me, but it's gotten to the point where I have more of a thick skin now, and it's kind of laughable that they're laughing at me because they don't realize that I'm just expressing myself how I like to express myself. So, yeah. You? No, my teachers don't scream at me. I think a lot of them don't even notice. They just kind of know that, they just kind of know to ignore it unless, you know, I ask them to call me out on it or something, which I have done, but yeah, it's mostly if anyone lectures me for it, it's my friends. Yeah. You? Yeah. It was hard for me. I had a lot of outlets, most of which I listened to a lot of music. And that band's exam, they have a lot of songs about like accepting yourself, accepting others, that type of stuff. And you know, I just kind of got to the point where like, I always saw it as, I'm me, I'm the best me I can be, I can't be anyone else, so I might as well like myself. You know, and if they don't like me, then they don't like me. You don't have to please everyone in life. Not everyone's gonna like you. Like, there's certain foods in life that not everyone likes, but some people really like them, and that's fine, right? You? No, my hair, well, the way hair works is that, yeah, you shed your hair, but I mean, I probably don't notice it as much as like, say someone with really long hair, they comb their hair and they're like, oh, it's coming out everywhere. I do wash my hair because it's long enough to do that now. But no, I don't like just like run my hand through and hair falls out everywhere. Yeah. You next, Tim?
If you had the chance to be on America's Got Talent, would you do it?
See, the thing about America's Got Talent is like, it's mostly just like performing talent. But if I did, I mean, I definitely, if I had a band, I think it would be really neat to have a band and go on that show. I don't think I want to do it alone. I don't know if I'm talented enough to do it alone, but yeah, I'd probably make my band a bunch of cool outfits and we'd do it and we'd go all hard on our guitars and whatnot. That's probably what I'd do. You in the plaid in the back? Well, when it started, my mom wanted to hide it at just about all costs. She thought it was more like something that was wrong with me and that's something we could fix and patch over. But it was eventually me deciding that I was fine with presenting myself, you know, how I wanted to. And people did notice. People would be like, wow, you have such small eyebrows. And I'd just be like, oh, it's because I'm blonde. They're just really light or whatever. But I mean, going into 6th grade, it got really obvious to the point where I wore a wig to school for the first few weeks, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's hot, it's itchy, it's not me. And so I just kind of was like, hey, this is what's up with me. If if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's that, I guess. So, yeah. You? I did not go to this school. I went to Johnsville Elementary School in Blaine, and then Roosevelt Middle School, and I go to Blaine High School now. You? Twin shirt? I am 15 now, but next month on the 12th, I will be 16. You in the black. There's a lot of band names that I like that I've come up with. I keep a document of them on my phone, and it's pretty long. But what I really like is the Rebels, but like Rebels spelled B-E-L-L-E. It would be like an all-girl band. I think that would be a really neat one. But that would require actually starting a band. So, you? I would say I've surrounded myself with the kind of people that are similarly minded to me. So my friend, or people I consider my friends, no, they don't make fun of me. They don't see anything wrong with me. Part of the problem was back in 6th grade, you know, I was still friends with people I was in elementary school, and it turned out that they weren't the best people. And it's just about surrounding yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with positivity. Because if you surround yourself with negativity, then that's all you feel. But if you surround yourself with positive people, even when you feel bad, you'll have people to make you feel better. So I would say no, not to the extent of like people approaching me and being like, this is wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. I mean, occasionally people are mean or rude, but it's more so just like laughable because I am surrounded by happiness and good people, so I don't need to deal with that. You in the back? Can you say it louder, please? I do cut my hair. Usually when I do, I either shave it all off or I shave it into a mohawk, which I'm gonna get at soon probably because it's getting a bit long for my tastes. But if I do wear wigs, I usually wear them pretty long and wavy and blonde because that's how my hair naturally is. So yeah, I do cut my hair sometimes, but not that much. I don't need to that much. You again? I love Los Angeles in California, but I've been there a lot of times. So the place I want to go to most would have to be Tokyo, Japan, because I love Japanese food and culture and fashion and music and all that stuff, and I'm a huge anime dork, and yeah, so I'd have to say Tokyo, just because I like all things Japanese culture. Anyone? You?
What's your favorite?
My favorite movie? There's a lot of movies I like. I don't know. I really like watching documentaries because I'm a nerd. Some of my favorite movies, oh, that's really hard to think of. I like a movie called Whip It. It's about roller derby. I like the movie Juno. Some of you might have seen Juno. The Runaways. I like really obscure, nerdy movies. So I do sometimes like scary movies, but I only really like to watch them when I'm with friends, because otherwise they just kind of gross me out. It's not that they're scary, it's just they're kind of gross sometimes. You? My role model, I want to say myself, but that's just because I'm egotistical. I have a lot of role models. As a musician, I have many role models. I'd say my friends are probably my biggest motivating factor because they're the ones that really keep me moving forward and keep me, you know, like, together. But as far as people I look up to, there's a singer, the guy who sang that song in the video, James Michael. He's probably one of the most genuinely nice people and talented people I've ever met. So he's probably my role model. There's a lot of musicians. Basically, any musician that hasn't gone down a terribly bad path is my role model. Yeah. You in the yellow? Oh, my favorite TV show. I watch a lot of TV shows. I watch a lot of cartoons. cartoons, especially. I watch a lot of anime too. I've been watching. Yes, I have seen SpongeBob. I am old enough, or I am young enough for SpongeBob. But specifically, I really like Adventure Time and regular shows. I like Bob's Burgers. It's not technically a TV show, but I really like the Monster High cartoons. I like Pokemon. I like Yu-Gi-Oh. I like just about anything. Yeah. All right, 2 more questions. You and the Gray. What? My favorite hobby? I have a lot of favorite hobbies. I love to sew and design clothing. I do like drawing. I'm not very good at it, but I do it anyway. And I love playing music and learning how to play music and listening to it. Anything with clothes or style in general and music, I suppose. You the pink? My favorite subject. I used to really like science and math, but when you get older, they get a lot different. I still love science, but mostly only when it relates to like animals and stuff. Aside from that, I really like reading and English and art. There's a lot of things in school it's a lot different when you're younger than when you're older. So I'd say hold on to that while you can, because when you get older, it feels like you're not really learning anything. You're just going over the same stuff you learned but harder. So I'd say treasure that while you guys still can, because you're still in elementary school. I wish I was still in elementary school. So I think that's all